up and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Louie and this is Time with Louie Fusion Diaries, where every video will travel to a new country, learning about their culture, their food, more importantly their outfits. We focus on their outfits, and last video we traveled all the way to Kiribati, a beautiful island country, and in today's video we're going to be traveling to the beautiful country of all the way in Asia. We're going to be traveling all the way to India. It's the seventh largest country in the world by land area, with the Himalayan mountains, the Thar deserts, and other coastal regions. Gained independence on August 15, 1947. They are best known for their beautiful cuisine, their amazing textiles, and pharmaceuticals, amongst other things. For this country, I was honestly drawn to their women and their men's attire. See, their outfits in this country is detail in design, in sewing, everything. I was honestly just drawn to it, from the women's wear, from the lehenga to the choli to the sari, and for the men's wear, from the ashkan to the kurta pajama to the dhoti kurta. Like, everything was just, I was mind blown. I was just like, how am I meant to match? How am I going to fuse with this country? Because their outfits were amazing. Their outfits are beautiful. I'm not even going to lie. After a lot of research and drawing and designing, I saw this beautiful cropped shirt. Everything about it just screams India, and I'm going to break it down. I chose to make this cropped because, number one, there's an outfit called the choli, and the choli is fitted blouse, a fitted cropped blouse. Looking at the menswear, I saw that a lot of them tend to have high necks, hence the high neck in this top that I sewed. Also, for the sleeves, I also made it long sleeve because of the menswear. And looking at a lot of Indian wear and their attires, I saw that they infuse a lot of flowers. Flowers are a big thing in the culture, so I was like, what better way than to put a stencil design on the arm of a flower. This attire is not just in one piece, it's a two-piece, so this video is going to be in two parts. The first part being this, and the second part going to be a skirt, and stay tuned for that for sure. And a lot of their materials had a lot of sparkle, a lot of shine, hence why I put silver on my top. If you love to see how I sewed this top, make sure to
for this video we're going to
watching.
make use of this senator material. We're also going to need hemming gum or uhu glue. We're also going to use about 4 yards of silver bias, our chalk, our thread, our scissors, of course, our zip, as well as paper gum. I have both the back and front material in the frame, and we're going to be cutting it at the same time. I'm going to mark in an X to let me know where the back of the material is and which one is the front of the material. The back material is the one under it, and it has the zip allowance. You don't have to pre-cut your material as I did. I just did it so that it could fit into the frame. Just go ahead and put your material on fold. For this marking, we're going to have 2 hemlines. I'm going to start off by marking the first hemline. Then I'm going to go down by 3.5 inches and mark the second hemline.
New sticks, we up.
Placing my tape on the second hemline, I'm going to mark my bust length, my under bust length, and my waist length. The full length of this blouse is 19 inches plus 1 inch of folding, that is 20 inches. Going up to the shoulder line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. Now I'm going to mark my armhole. On that shoulder marking, I'm going to go down by 8 inches, and I'm going to divide it by 4. On that 4-inch mark, I'm going to go in by 0.5 inches. At the 8-inch mark of our armhole, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches. I'm just going to curve it Connect the 0.5 inches and the 1.5 inches. That will give us the perfect armhole. Next, on our shoulder line and on the first hemline, we're going to mark 3.5 inches. We're going to come down by 1 inch on our armhole line and connect it to our neckline, which will be our shoulder slant. Now we connect both hemlines. This is a high neck, so our back neckline is not going to have any cut. So for the first and second hemline, we're not going to cut it on the back hemline. We're just going to cut straight across and our shoulder slant. That's what we're going to cut. I'm going to start off by cutting the front neck and shoulder. Putting that cut piece aside, I'm going to cut the back. I'm going to cut straight across without the first and second hemline on the back piece. We have cut the back and the front necklines differently. Now we're going to cut our armhole, and that's going to be the same as well as our body measurements. Placing my tape on the bust line, I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4, that is 41 divided by 4, that is 10.5, and I'm going to add 2 inches allowance. Because this is a crop shirt, I didn't want this to have any shape to it, so I just minus 1 inch from my bust measurement, that is 9.5, and I added 1.5 inches allowance and I connected it all. Now it's time to cut. The back and front has been cut. We're going to put that aside and we're going to focus on the neckline. Having my paper gum unfold just as we did on our material, I'm going to first mark our first hemline, then come down by 3.5 inches and mark our second hemline. This will give us a guide to how our neck will be. Next, I'm going to mark 3 inches on our second hemline and I'm going to come down by 9 inches. That is how deep I want my neckline to be. From the folding of our second hemline, I'm going to mark ½ inch and come down by 5 inches and mark that point, and from that 5 inches point I'm going to create a C curve and curve it all the way to the folding point of our 9 inches mark. I also connected the 5 inches point to the ½ inch on our second hemline. So this is the shape that our neckline is going to be taking. I'm also going to mark a ½ inch on our first hemline and I'm going to connect it to our second hemline. Next, I'm going to add 2.5 inches on our neckline shape, then we'll cut. Our neckline shape has been cut. Next, we're going to open it up, transfer it to our fabric and iron on it. As you can see, our neckline pattern has been ironed on our fabric, and in cutting I left a ½ inch space round. Going on our machine, I'm going to sew up that ½ inch on our pattern. So this is what our fold up looks like. Now, taking our neck pattern, we're going to transfer it to our front piece. Placing our neck pattern on the middle of our front piece, we're going to sew on the edges of the paper gum all the way around, leaving ½ inch space away from the edges of the paper gum. So this is what your sewing should look like on your neck pattern. Taking our scissors, we're going to cut round of our shaped out pattern, leaving at least half-inch space round. Next, I'm going to notch round it so that it can relax well when we turn it over. I'm going to iron it flat as it's turned over so that we can see the shape of our neckline well. So this is what our neckline looks like now it has been ironed flat. Taking our 1-inch silver bias, I just folded it to make it into a strip, and I'm just going to be placing that on the front piece. I'm going to be cutting it into two and placing both on the front piece. I'm going to stitch in on that part of our neckline. So this is what our stitching look like, and I think the silver goes really well on our material. Now we're going to attach our front and back piece together. Placing our front and back piece together, we're just going to be stitching it straight, including the high neck. If this part gets a little bit tricky for you, take your time to do it. Just straight along, bending our high neck. That's how our front piece ends up looking like. Just like I showed before, I have stitched one side, and this is what our high neck looks like. I'm going to go ahead and stitch the second side. With both sides stitched, our high neck is complete, and this is what it looks like. Next, I'm going to be joining the sides according to my measurements, as well as sewing the foldings of the top. With the sides and ends of the top folded and sewn, we're going to keep that aside, and we're going to draft the hand. With my material unfold, the full length of this sleeve is 25.5 inches, but based on how I'm going to fold it, I'm going to add an extra half inches, making it 26 inches. My arm round is 13 inches, divided by 2 is 6.5 inches, and I'm going to add 1 inch for allowance. For the armhole curve, I'm going to mark on the top layer of our sleeve 4 inches, and from that 4 inches, I'm going to mark an extra 6 inches, covering it to where our marking is. I'm also going to add 1 inch for allowance. Next, you connect it all. This is a free top, so at the full length of our sleeve, I'm just going to extend our actual measurement and slant it to where our measurement is. Now we cut.
New sticks. We up.
Next, I just went ahead and cut out 2 inches of the full width of our sleeve, and that's what we're going to use for the folding. With this silver bias unfold in between our sleeve and the 2 inches of folding is going to serve as trimming around the sleeve. So this is what I mean, the silver bias unfold in between the sleeve and the 2-inch folding, and it's going to serve as trimming. Now for the stencil work I'm going to do on our sleeve, if you'd like to see a separate tutorial where I explain how to do this, make sure to drop it in the comment section. I definitely will make a separate video for this. I went ahead to sew up the sleeve according to my measurements. Bringing back our top, remember that when we're cutting our armhole curve, we marked a full on 10 inches, so we're just going to recut our armhole to 10 inches so that it fits in perfectly. Taking my tape, I'm going to mark where 10 inches stops, and I'm going to cut it. With the sleeves attached, I went ahead and fixed the zip. If you'd like to see a video on how to fix an invisible zip or visible zip, make sure to drop it down in the comment section below. So this is the finished product of our top. If you love it, make sure to drop a huge love in the comment section below. Thank you so much for getting to this point of the video. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. If you're Indian and you got to the end of this video, make sure to drop a like in the comment section. Let's identify. Part 2 of this video is coming out soon, so make sure to click the notification bell so that you're notified when it comes out. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.